Hello, and in a surprise move, we see that Eddie Jones has extended his England contract for 2 years after the Rugby World Cup, or at least until the summer of 2020, I think it is. So with the World Cup being towards the end of the year, that's perhaps maybe about a year and a half, but they've said it's a 2-year extension, is how everyone's kind of painting it, through till August 2021. Now, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? That's what we're going to have a bit of a chat about. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind Driving Maul, a podcast, YouTube channel, website, and Twitter account, and all of that kind of fun stuff. By the way, whilst you're here, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers to maintain my partner status, so please do give me a old subscription if you enjoyed the video. So, Eddie Jones has signed an extension through till August 2021, so 2 years after the Rugby World Cup. Now, it's clear that one lesson has been learnt because there is a performance clause in there. So, it's not just a big 4-year extension in the same way that Stuart Lancaster and all of his assistant coaches got. It's a bit different to that one. Eddie has come out and said all the right words, as you expect, being a dream job and all of that kind of stuff. And you can't really argue with Eddie Jones's performance to date. I mean, only having lost one game last year, or actually only having lost one game full stop over the last 2 years. He's had he's been very successful with England. As has been pointed out to me on Twitter, Eddie's record for short-term performance is better than long-term performance in various places. He's one of these coaches who does tend to move around quite a bit. So there is that side of it, but anyway, performance to date, you can't fault him, and so from that point of view, you've got to say it's a positive. The reason I'm not feeling quite so unambiguously positive is that when Jones first came in, he said he was going to leave after the Rugby World Cup. He's been very clear about that several times. It was a 4-year project, and then he was going to move on and do something else. So that's clearly changed, and the RFU at the time said they wanted an English coach to replace him. Now, apparently they've backtracked on the English bit, and they just want a coach to replace him. And now they've not only backtracked on that, they've also backtracked on the 4-year thing as well. So from that point of view, I'm a little bit. I'm not quite so positive around this. And then the next thing they've gone and said is that it's likely to involve appointing a new head coach by the end of 2019-2020 season, and with a view to a smooth coaching transition, working with Jones until the summer of 2021. So that means by the end of 2020, so it's going to be a 1 or 2 year kind of handover period for them to then take it on and lead the team through to the Rugby World Cup in 2023. Rarely do you see these sort of things going smoothly. Quite often, if a successor comes in, as a handover period, the old guy gets kicked out ahead of time. And generally these things don't work. So I'm not sure that that's a good policy to publicly say someone is his successor and have a handover period like that. It's generally these things don't work that well. Having a succession plan is important, and long-term thinking is important. And that's what the RFU should be doing. I'm just not sure they should be publicly naming this person will be the next guy. I mean, what happens if he joins in at the end of the 2020 season, goes and is assistant coach for 2020 and through to 2021, and then we find out that actually they lose all their games that time and they have a poor record. Do you then Eddie leaves, the guy takes over? I don't know. It's not really that clear cut. Obviously the All Blacks and the way that they've had succession to Hansen, you've got to say when he was assistant coach and came through and became head coach, I guess that's kind of the model that everyone's sort of looking at. So they're looking to try and do that. But when they did that, he had to apply for the role, and whilst it was a bit of a sort of tick box exercise, say yes, hey, here you go, you can have it. He still had to apply for it. It wasn't a foregone conclusion. He wasn't announced as the next coach. a bit like at the moment, Ian Foster is the assistant coach to the All Blacks, and if you ask around New Zealand, there's a lot of expectation that he's probably the next All Blacks coach. He's in the right place to take on that role. Now, will he get it? Who knows? It's going to depend on how well they go at the next Rugby World Cup for a start. So, but he will definitely. It looks like he will probably be the front runner, even though he will have to interview. And I think that's a better way of doing it. Is having someone as a front runner. But not being quite so public, saying this is the person who is going to be the next coach. I'm not comfortable with how they're doing it. I do like the idea that they are forward planning. That is good, but I'm not sure I like the way they've gone about this. So it's not. I'm not overly positive about this move. I think Jones is a very good coach, and he has the and he obviously is getting the results. But the fact that he said it was only going to be 4 years and they were changing minds. Said that they were going to look definitely for an England coach, and this unclear transition period where you're going to have two head coaches in at the same time, one on the way out, one on the way in. I think could just lead to confusion with the players as to who is actually the boss, who's the guy that's really running things around here. So yep, happy to see that Jones if he's staying around, but not happy perhaps how they are if you have gone about this. Always up for good rugby chats. Please let me know your thoughts down below, and also please do subscribe. There should be a button up there somewhere for you to do so. So subscribe to the channel and help me get to 1,000 subscriptions, please.